art ninjas! Today we are diving into the world of Naruto and painting one of the most underrated ships in the series, Shikamaru and Temari. Get ready for acrylic chaos, some clever drawing tips, and possibly a few shadow possession jutsus. Just joking, we're not doing that here. So as you can see, I made my sketches on paper, which is easier than drawing on the plexiglass directly. I advise you to do this every time for more precise results. So when I'm doing my sketch, I always outline the shadows on the clothes or the skin of the characters to make coloring easier. It's literally like a coloring book. Now real quick for the characters. Shikamaru, a lazy genius, master of strategy, and absolute king of this is such a drag. And Temari, wind-slinging queen with a giant fan and zero patience for nonsense. In other words, the perfect match. However, I haven't watched Boruto, so I honestly have no idea what's officially going on between these two. And honestly, I kinda want to keep it that way, just in case it ruins the vibe for me. But you guys can tell me in the comments, what do you think of Shikamaru and Temari as a couple? Are they your favorite duo, or do you ship someone else from the anime? I'm just curious. However, back to the drawing, here's a little trick that I use always when I'm sketching. I outline all the shadow areas on the character's clothes or skin, and these shadow lines act like a building guide for when I start painting. It's basically like creating my own custom coloring book page. I don't have to guess later where the light is coming from or where to put the darker tones. It's all there from the beginning. This makes the painting process smoother, faster, and way less stressful. If you're a beginner or even just trying to speed up your workflow, I highly recommend doing this. It saves you from a lot of bruh moments later on, you know. And that's the shadow jutsu I was talking about in the beginning of the video. Now, let's talk about acrylics for a second. Because listen, acrylic paint does not wait for anyone. It dries faster than you can say "dattabayo." I know it's a cringe example, but it's true. Like for real, blink once and it's dry. You blink twice, it's crusty. So trust me when I say, have your colors ready. Before I even touch the brush, I mix all the tones I'm going to need. Base colors, shadows, highlight, everything I need at that moment. Because once you start painting, you're on the clock. You can't just go off making tea and come back expecting the paint still be blendable. Acrylics don't play like that. Now let's talk about the plexiglass. It's a different beast, and it's nothing like the paper. Super fun, but it flips the whole process upside down. Literally. Since it's transparent, you're actually painting on the image backwards. Whatever you paint first will end up being what shows up in front when you flip it over. It's something like a reverse drawing jutsu. So here's what that means. You start with the tiny details first, like eyes, highlights, outlines, basically the final touches you'd normally save for last. Then you layer on the midtones, skin, hair, and clothes. And last, you block in the background colors or large flat areas, the stuff that would usually be painted first on paper. It's kind of like making a sandwich from the top slice down. Weird at first, but super satisfying once it clicks. Also, you have to be prepared to do multiple layers. Plexiglass doesn't absorb paint like paper or canvas, so that first coat, it's gonna be streaky. Totally normal. Just let it dry, which again happens fast, and go over it again. After that, you'll have a vibrant and solid color. And don't overload your brush. On glass or plexiglass, too much paint becomes a slippery mess real quick. Use controlled strokes, let it dry between passes, and you'll get clean, sharp results. It's basically like painting in reverse while racing against time. But hey, what's art without a little adrenaline, right? Also, if you're an overthinker like me, let me share my personal mantra for getting unstuck while painting. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to exist. You can always go back and fix things, but if you never start, there's nothing to fix. Back to the technical stuff for a second. One more quick tip. If you're doing line art on plexiglass and you're worried about your lines smudging while painting, use a waterproof marker or acrylic pen. I personally don't like to use pens for plexiglass drawings, but you can try. However, if you work with brushes, don't forget to clean your brushes often while working with acrylics. These babies dry inside the bristles and turn your favorite brush into a tiny shovel if you're not careful. I keep a little jar of water next to me and give them a dip every couple of minutes just to keep them fresh and soft. So we love a well-hydrated brush. Also, if you made it this far in the video, first of all, you're awesome! Second, I wanna know who's your favorite underrated Naruto character. I feel like everyone talks about the big three, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, but what about Kiba, or Anko, or the guy who talks to bugs and is weirdly cool about it? Drop your faves in the comments, and while you're down there, hit the subscribe button if you want me to make more videos like this. I'm new to YouTube, and I'm still trying to figure out how everything works, so if you'd like to see more videos from me, feel free to follow me on TikTok where I post more often, and on Instagram too. Your support helps me grow and improve my art. However, let's get back to the painting. I'm adding the final touches now, the highlights, the deeper shadows, and all those tiny magical details that really make the characters pop. This is the part where the whole piece goes from okay, that looks cool, to okay, they are alive and probably about to argue again. The contrast between their personalities is exactly what makes this moment so fun to paint. It's calm versus storm. And you know what's funny? These final touches, they take forever. They are also the most satisfying part of the whole process. Like I'm just here dotting a tiny white sparkle into Temari's eye, like I'm diffusing a bomb, and it's like, does anyone even notice this except me? Probably not. Do I care? Absolutely not. The sparkle is essential. Anyway, for the background, I decided to paint nature. I mean, nothing beats more peaceful trees to balance out the chaos of these two characters, right? One of my favorite painting techniques for painting trees is super simple but super effective. I just gently tap the brush using different shades of green. Darker green first, then lighter ones on top. This creates depth and texture, and suddenly the tree crown looks way more realistic. Like it actually has volume, not just green blob. What I love about this technique is that it's both easy and satisfying. You don't need to overthink it, just let your brush dance a bit, and boom, nature happens. It's like art and relaxation therapy in one. By the way, here's a hack that saved me hours of cleaning time. Instead of scrubbing dry paint off my palette like it's a mission from Tsunade herself, I just wrap it in regular kitchen clean foil, and when I'm done, I just peel it off. Boom! Clean palette. More time for art, less time for chores. You're welcome. I think we are building an army of lazy geniuses here. And here it is, the final artwork. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and let me know which anime duo should I paint next.